Hello, good day. Welcome to Global Agro Connect podcast, episode 17, with Aka Joshua Salvation, the Agro King. Today's topic is actually going to be a bit short, but it's something that is really important. If you do not know this, please do not endeavor or do not even try to get into an agricultural enterprise because failure is inevitable. So these is five rules to success in the agricultural industry as regards marketing. And as you know, marketing is the battery, the powerhouse of every business. If you're actually in any business, your aim is to make profit, and your profit comes from your marketing. Okay, so going on with what we have today, before we go on, please, as you know, our Instagram handle has actually been hacked. If you do not know, please know now. Global Agro Connect Instagram handle first has been hacked, but our Facebook handle is actually still operating. So please follow us on Facebook at Global Agro Connect, as well as on our new Instagram handle, which is going to be displayed on the description bar. So please do also encourage us by following us on Instagram. Do well to also subscribe to our channel, please. If you've done so, thank you very much. God bless. And hit on the like button as well as the notification bar to get your notification whenever we drop interesting content like this. Like you know, Global Agro Connect is all about agriculture, business, and actually mindset. Okay, we're actually trying to motivate, we're trying to train, we're trying to empower, we're trying to um, how would I say mentor and advise African youth on the agricultural industry for them to actually gain success in their enterprise. And most people be like, Joshua, you actually started your farm. So how do you learn what to teach? I basically am not the only one involved in this. Okay, basically I train. Yes, I'm the founder of Global Agro Connect. I train people, but what I train on is what I am practicing, even if it's in small scale. Okay, but we have capable hands like Mr. John Shitu, who actually took our training. He has been in the agricultural industry for a long while and has made a name for himself in his locality as well as in the agricultural industry as a whole. So he's a practicing farmer and is actually a CEO of an organization, a consulting firm. So if you're interested in setting up a farm, I think he does that really well. So he's one of our capable hands. Mr. Tusinduro Dola, an accountant, is one of our capable hands as well. And we have so many other people in and outside Nigeria who are helping to move what we're trying to do or what we're trying to achieve. So into the topic of the day, five major things you need to know before starting your agricultural business. Like I said before, if you do not know this, please do not endeavor or do not even try starting. Now, stop and learn. Okay, whatever you're doing now, I want you to pay rapt attention. If you know you're on the roadside or you're on the road walking and you know it's actually a bit noisy, I'll advise you to replay this or basically to download it. Then by the time you get home, you can actually sit and listen to it carefully. Now, on the marketing, like we know, I said this before, marketing is the heart, is the powerhouse, and it's actually the brain of every business. There is no business you're doing that doesn't require marketing. Okay, you're selling, you require marketing. You're teaching, you require marketing. You're an influencer, you also require the marketing skill. So basically, what we're going to be talking about today is not just only in the agricultural industry, but I'm going to be talking the agricultural terms, but it applies to every other industry. But basically, what do farmers need to know before starting their farm? First is you need to understand the location. Location of what? Location of who? Now, as an agricultural enterprise, you sort for customers. You sort for potential customers before even starting. While drawing your business plan, try to find out who your customers are, who your potential clients are. Now, after finding that out, where are they? Okay, location, where are they? Now, most of the times people make these mistakes. Intending farmers, already practicing farmers had made this mistake, and you see them over after the first second batch of production. You see them frowning, oh, I didn't make sales, oh, I made sales but didn't make profit, this and that. Now, this is because inadequate marketing research as well as sales process was not put in place to help market their agricultural produce. Now, under location, as a farmer, as a business, where is your target customers? Where are your potential customers? The nature of product or your product will determine the location, or the location will determine the product you sell. Now, if you're selling a product that sells well to a particular ethnic group of people, it's best to just move over to the place inhabited by that ethnic group of people. Now, let's imagine you're selling African bread nuts, or you want to go into African bread nut production. That's what the Igbos call ukwa. I don't know what Yorubas call it, but the Igbos will call it ukwa. Now, let me just give a little narrative about this. Now, that ukwa itself is actually in my school. I school at Levensis Foundation. Now, in my school in Osun State, this is actually wasted. Okay, African bread nut is actually like a wasted product there, because basically 90% or 95% of persons in that vicinity know nothing about it. Now, those who know about it are or do not have the time to go through the tedious process of processing it, as well as washing of the slime. Because yes, truly, the process for processing has to do with so much washing, sorting, and several of them. Now, most people do not want to take that time. They don't want to go into that stress. They don't want to take that stress of, oh, I'm washing this, I'm doing that. Oh, most people just intend to just purchase already made. Now, nonetheless, those in that area, the western part, do not understand it. They don't even know it. Okay, most of them are throwing it away. Now, let's assume someone wants to go into African bread nut production. Do you think the western part will actually be the adequate place to produce it? Yeah, even if producing there, it's not the adequate location to market your produce, because you don't have even up to an average amount of your target customers there. So basically, you are to sort for where it will thrive. In the eastern part of Nigeria, families kill each other because of this same African bread nut. People take one another's land because of African bread nut tree there. Now, people also become enemies for life because of that tree. They won't want to cut it down. They will encroach on each other's lands and properties to make sure they get that. Like, seriously speaking, there were loads of crises while I was back in the east, or when we went back to the east, and all because of this same African bread nut. It's really valued, and it's very highly profitable tree there. That's why it's being valued. Now, seeing that there is this rush for the product in the eastern part of Nigeria, even if you are producing in the western part of Nigeria, because it's not going to cost you your startup capital, it basically will cost you just the transportation to ship it over to the east to sell. Or the startup capital is not actually needed there. It's not really high. It's not actually really high because it's not you don't actually have influx, or you don't, how will I say it, you don't have people who know much about it, and it's actually at your disposal. It's something they'll throw away, something they don't value. So picking up that unvalued thing, valueless thing, and processing it in the western part of Nigeria, it's actually very nice, because to help you cut down your cost of production. Now, shipping it over to the eastern part of Nigeria to sell, you're going to make loads of profit. Now, if a person still decides to purchase from the eastern part and still process it there and sell there, obviously he's going to make profit, fine, but not as much as the person who is actually doing that in the western parts of Nigeria and selling in the east. But see, don't ever produce African bread nuts in the west and sell in the west, because you aren't going to sell. So I suggested selling in the east because there is rush for it in the east. There is high demand for the products in the east. Okay, so that moves us to the next. Now, before I go on to the next, understand location of your product matters. Okay, where your customers are depends is what is a major criteria for where you market your product. So you move towards the direction of your customers to sell to them. Okay, you produce and sell to the location where you find your customers. So where is that area that your target customers are? If you're dealing on pawpaw, where do you get your customers? If you're dealing on okra, where do you get your customers? Spices, where do you get your customers? Um, Majorly, even the location does not really encompass the states. You have hotels, agricultural produce makers of hotels. We have restaurants. We have bar. We have several things, several different areas. We have caterers. So, who are your target audience? Where are they? Now, knowing that will actually help you target and project your marketing strategies in such a way that it will attract and retain them and keep them as your loyal customers for a long while. Okay, for a long while. Now, getting to the next point is product demand. Product demand is point two. Several people underestimate this product demand. You see someone who has gotten into the agricultural industry, and out of that enthusiasm, you will agree with me that getting into an industry that you love, industry that you've heard that, oh, I'm going to make this amount of money. You've drawn out your plan. You've seen, oh my gosh, if I sell this, if I sell this, if I sell this. That's what majorly young people do. We do this. We pick up a pen and paper. You match people. Yes, I'm going to produce 500 broilers. You can say, oh, I'm going to produce 100 broilers. If I sell them at so amount, deduct my cost of production, I get this amount. Oh my gosh, so I can get this amount. And I say, no, 100 is too small. You double it, you make it 200, or probably you make it 500. And I say that the profit margin is really high, then you push in. Now, yes, you've drawn your plan, you've actually seen how much you're going to make, but have you tried to find out if there is high demand of the product or when there is high demand for the product? So, basically, if you're dealing with poultry, you know that if you're dealing with eggs, yes, there's always high demand for eggs. Now, let me talk about something that you know that is seasonal. Now, let's talk about broilers. Basically, people who do broilers, if you don't have a cold room where you can butcher, package, and resell, and you want to go into broiler production, obviously you have to depend on the sales season. And the sales season are December season, that's the Christmas period, you have the New Year period, you have the Easter, you have the Ilea, you have the Salah, you have which other one? Which other one? Remind me. So those are the ones I can actually mention for now. So those seasons are when you go into bulk production. So, and you know obviously that when you go into bulk production, you also back your bulk production with marketing strategies that will attract people to you, because you know that there is actually large production, not just by you, but by several farmers, okay, by several farmers around. So, while producing in large quantity, back up your production with good marketing strategies. Now, most people underestimate this. They produce without even, imagine it's not Christmas period, you just want to produce, you don't have a cold room, and you're going for 500 broilers. Mean what are you going to do? You actually started small. You're a small startup. You haven't gathered customers. It's your first batch of production because you have the space. You feel it's right to just produce 500 broilers. Hello, you end up spending. Broilers consume feed. They are high feed consumers. So when you consume feed and if you don't end up selling them, you cannot kill them and throw them away. And if you don't have adequate storage facility, your refrigerator, your cold room, obviously they are going to get spoiled. So you're going to be wasting money. Even if you don't decide to kill them, decide to keep them, they will end up outgrowing the price that people can actually buy, and they'll keep consuming your feed. So obviously the best thing is have adequate or understand when the product demand of your product or when the demand for your product is high or will be high, then produce based on that high demand. That and also when your product demand will be low, also produce based on that. So you should be able to balance increase demand and decrease demand. When your demand is high, know by how many you should increase your production, and when it is low, you should know by how many you should decrease production. So that is all about product demand. Now, if you know about product demand, it actually help you regulate the quantity of products you produce over a particular period of time to also help you not run into a loss or not run your business at a loss. Now, the third point here is product packaging. Packaging is branding. Packaging is attraction. It's actually something side attraction. Most people they say in Nigeria, if you package shit well, sell them, people go buy. And that is actually true. Adequate packaging helps you reach out to high paying clients. People love packaging. You produce something, you put it in the right packaging, it attracts right people. Okay, it attracts big, high-paying customers. And aside that, packaging has just gone beyond the nylon you use to pack your product, the plates, the designs you put on those, and how neat and how beautiful it is. Packaging has become the value you offer. Packaging has become your incentives. You can see there are several people, there might be 10 people selling the same agricultural product in a particular area, and people will prefer one person. And when you check, that person do not package that thing in a branded nylon. The person just use the normal nylon, but package it, wrap it properly, and then seal. Then people go there to buy. Whereas you've done all the packaging, you pack them in fact, you've gone all the way to packing it in carton and making it look beautiful like a presented package from Jumia, and still you don't have anybody coming over to purchase. That's because people aren't getting what they want to get. Now, people love side attraction, they love incentives. So packaging is also, I actually include packaging to incentives. Yes, it's incentives. So when you actually want to make sales, learn to give incentives. Okay, purchase 10, get one free. Purchase 5, get a crate of egg. Purchase this, get this. Purchase this, get this. Now, you can even do this referral incentives. When you purchase 5, refer one person to purchase 5, you actually get one big cup. Now, when you say cock, probably it can be probably local fowl, okay? And since it's cock, they won't expect a broiler. Even if they expect a broiler, when you give them the local fowl, they always appreciate it. So basically, you can just grow that in an extensive method. See, I'm giving you guys tips now. So you're growing it in an extensive method where you don't have to incur so much on the feeding of those birds, then use them to promote the sales of your original brand. That's your original chicken, your broilers, your layers, whatever. So incentives also helps. Aside incentives with your livestock, you can also do incentives with other things, dust pans. See, nothing is too small. People love appreciation. People love to be appreciated, and several people will actually do so many things for your business even without knowing. Imagine a person comes to your store or comes to your farm during Christmas period and buys 3 large broilers, and these broilers are sold at a very encouraging rate. Okay, let's say you've managed to cut down your cost of production and you sell them at a reasonable price, and that person gets home and his neighbor asks him where you got it from, and he directs the neighbor to you, and it comes with the neighbor to your farm, and the neighbor also purchases, and you can't even say thank you. Thank you should not just be with your mouth saying thank you, sir. If you have a dust pan, packaged dust pan, you can actually wrap it up and give it to the man. Dust pan is 500, okay? And get 500 naira dust pan. And giving it to that person will actually help that person say, oh, this person actually appreciated what I did by getting someone here. And next time, when the person sees another that wants to buy, he will always refer the person to you. So love or try to encourage referrals, okay? Even if it is done based on willful giving. Now, when you give the customer says, "Oh, do not worry," then you know you've done your part. But try to encourage customers, especially women. Yes, female customers. If you study them properly, you will know women are always attracted by incentives. They are attracted by incentives, especially household items. So if you study ladies very well, you understand how to attract them. And you know they are the ones in charge of the pots. So they can actually influence where the men buys the things from and where they do not buy from. So you should actually know how to target them and how to put your product in an attractive manner that will actually pull more customers to you. Now, point 4, we have customers' likes and dislikes. Now, you might ask, how can I actually know what my customers like and what they do not like? Now, most people have ended up not being able to differentiate this. You can't just go to every customer and start asking, what do you like, what do you not like? With a survey of 10 people, you should be able to determine what the average masses would want from you. So probably before you start, you'll be like, if you have no idea of what products to produce in a particular community, social media has actually become a place to get people of sorts. Now let's imagine you design a Google form, direct the Google form to that community. You know you can target people living in that vicinity. Now when you direct it to people living in that vicinity, and you be like, ask some questions related to if you want to produce something, or if they want something produced in their vicinity, what should that be? If they want an agricultural produce, then give a list of things you want them, or things you actually know you can go into, and let them make their choices. Now if you have people going for one or higher percentage on a product, yeah, I prefer you to go for that, because that's what the masses want. Now, this is only when you don't have an idea of what to produce. You just want to go in and you feel like, oh, what do I even start with? Now, basically, if you don't want to go through with the social media way or with the Google form way, you can actually try to make research on how how sales have actually thrived in that area with the things that are being sold. And you can as well ask people. You can ask people, what are the products that sell well in this vicinity? What are the agricultural products that sell well, that is on high demand in this vicinity? Now, asking questions. Nobody kill you to ask questions. Nobody kill you for asking questions. So do well to wait and ask as many questions as possible. The Igbos say a person who asks questions can never miss his way. So ask as much questions, ask from your mentors, ask from people in that locality, ask from other farmers. They will always give you your desired, or they can actually give you good advice that will help you not to make silly mistakes that they must have made and found a way to correct. So always learn to ask questions to know your customers' likes or potential customers' likes and dislikes. Now, the last point is the social media pages that they follow. This is not basically all so much important if you aren't doing online, but basically I will encourage you, if you're going into any business in this century, please embrace social media, embrace internet. Seriously speaking, it's a way you gain traction, it's a way that I've seen people that they are in, let's say in Ojodu, and they have people coming all the way from Lekki to purchase things that are minimum. So like so much little things. Now imagine someone is coming to make hair. You know how big or how furnished would I say, yes, Lekki phases are, and someone comes from there to all the way to Ojodu to make her hair, because she notices that there is a service down there that actually helps people, that have actually beautified people more than the service she's getting there, all from what she saw on social media, or probably called for home service from Ojudu here, whereas she had hairdressers there, and she would pay for the transport and everything because of what she saw on social media. So basically, social media has actually become it has become a wider community than we can imagine. Okay, now why is it important to find out what social media pages they follow and why they follow them? Now, see, people go for basically what they want on social media. Time has gone past when people will just follow people for following sake. You notice people follow people on Instagram and unfollow them back. Most especially not because they're looking for followers. Some people will follow you to see what kind of content you post. And when those content aren't appealing to them, they actually switch to people who do not have appealing content. And most people come to Instagram to sort for products to purchase. Most people come to on Facebook to read quotes. They come there to get motivation, to get inspiration, to find product, to find organizations that they can actually learn from. Okay? Now position yourself as one of those and see them coming to you. Now, finding out what pages they follow will actually help you know how best to position your organization on social media, position your farm on social media, position your brand on social media to attract the target audience you desire. Okay, now let's imagine you find out, okay, you have larger amount of customers within this age range, that is the same age range for the product that I want, and these people are dealing on the same product that I'm dealing with. And I actually want these people to start looking at my side. What do? Check the post they've dropped. Okay, how are those posts arranged? What are the content of those things that we put up? What are the content or constituents of their content that makes it so appealing to the people? Now, what if it's appealing to you? Obviously, it's going to be appealing to people. Now, you would actually start loving them by looking at what they actually put. You start loving what they put. You start, in fact, you feel like following them. So basically, that feeling itself will actually tell you that, oh, these people are actually doing something worthwhile that I know I can actually learn from. So basically, you can actually implement the same strategy that they're implementing in yours for a start. I don't find anything bad in copying someone else's methodology, not word for word, don't get me wrong. You can actually try to follow the same process that they're following as a startup, okay? To actually start gaining that customers you want or the followers you desire. Now, as you're getting those followers, your brand is gaining little by little visibility, small visibility, okay? Now, as time goes by and you keep implementing and implementing such, dropping worthwhile content, interesting content, you start seeing people will start following you. More people will start coming to you because they know they can trust you to drop content as regular as possible for them, and not just content that they actually can spend their time on, or they can actually, or that is worth them spending their time going through. Now, after getting such methodology from them, you can now, and gaining at least a little followers or a little customer attraction, you can now start implementing your personal method. Okay, you can now start trying to be unique. You can now start trying to be different. Now, you should understand something. A person's business is his personality. Everyone builds business according to the way they want it to be. But at initial stage, they all want it professional. They go on social media, they ask questions, they do it the professional manner. And when you see them trying to get that or getting that desired result they want, then you start seeing them putting in their innovations, their creativity, putting in their personal interest into it. Okay, what is it that I actually have within me? Basically, people act based on their personality. Okay, on social media, I'll drop posts based on what I love. I'll drop posts based on what I believe people love. But at initial stage, you see most people on their initial stage, and me also dropping things. I'll go on several organizations social media handles, and you see picking, oh, this is what these people have tried dropping, and they are getting so many views on this. These people got so many views on this, they got so many views on this, and you see me picking such things. Several people are picking such things, then try to create similar things to that and try to attract people with that. Now, while attracting people, it will get to a time you feel, oh, I've attracted so much people already. I think it's time I become original. That's when you now start making that business to suit your personality. So I love telling people, let your business be your personality. You'll notice when a person is a fun person, you see that his business place will actually be a fun place to be. If a person is a dull person, an introverted person, his business place will actually be a bit boring, but you actually see that place or that person functioning professionally. See, introverted persons most times function professionally. They always put their minds into doing what they're there for. So basically your business is your personality. So don't just copy word for word. Don't copy word for word. You can actually follow the methodology, but as time goes on, try to be innovative. So we've listed 5 main points that you need to know, 5 main criteria that can actually tell if you're ready to start up your agricultural enterprise. So enterprise, whichever one, enterprise. Okay. First of sort is location, area that your product will thrive faster and sell better. Second is product demand, when you will actually increase your productivity based on the demand, and when you have to decrease productivity based on also demand. Then third, we have product packaging issue or giving incentives, or referral-based incentives, or packaging your product with the adequate packaging materials to attract customers. Then we've talked about the fourth part, which is customers' likes and dislikes. Getting to know the products that your customers will actually want you to produce in a particular area, or the product that sells faster to customers in a particular area. Now the last one, which we've actually discussed, but not the least. There are several other ones in our Farmers Sell Better. That's our ebook, an ebook that I designed, and this is actually an extract of that ebook. So it's a tip of the iceberg of what you get from the ebook. Social media pages they follow. That's the last one. So we've been able to actually tell and discuss about this for this 38 or 30 minutes and 40 seconds. So basically, this is all for today's podcast. And I would love to encourage you once more to subscribe to our channel, because May 15th is our 1 year anniversary. And this anniversary is going to be the talk of social media. Because basically we want to do something interesting, a week back-to-back training with agricultural experts. So we are getting these experts ready to impact lives. We are getting them ready to talk to you on the platform that actually gives you easy access to. Okay? And at the end of the 15th of May itself, we are going to be having a virtual party. Now this party is going to be followed by airtime giveaways, data sub giveaways, ebook giveaways, agricultural advice programs for free, several things that you can actually expect. All right. So basically, I would love you to follow us on social media, on Facebook and on Instagram. You see our handle on the description bar, and also to subscribe to get the notification for when those things are actually going to, or when the registration for the event is going to be taking place. All right. Thank you very much for listening once more. I am Akadusha Salvation, otherwise known as the Agro King. Enjoy the rest of your day, and this is goodbye for me.